Hello and welcome to The Corner. I'm the Frosted Glass and I'm joined by my fellow Alabaster Savages, Jack Gunsky.
I'm trying to hold in a fart for the next 5 seconds.
Oh, and there it went. Moonshock,
Hello, everybody.
Terry Diamantis,
I am a trained professional. Do not try the Terry lifestyle at home.
and this week's return special guest, Sora Luna.
Good evening. Grab a whiskey. Join me. Drink.
She's going to do the hat trick next week.
Yes. This will be a fun experiment to see what drunk Canadians are like outside of hockey games.
I'm gonna need more alcohol.
Whenever you think about it, just have a nice little whiskey.
All right, and we'll start off with our first article. The case for banning private education.
Oh my god.
Let's do it. Yeah.
That was me making the drowning donkey noise.
Can we keep it to its estimation of a 3-minute read? Or is that even possible?
Somehow I feel like I picked a good article.
I already want to sit on this article until it suffocates.
Jack's like that big old fat girl in love. He's like, I'm triggered.
We should aim for a complete education overhaul here in the United States.
I already know what you want, you son of a bitch.
Couldn't even get past a byline.
Nope. I know what these people want. They want a state education because then they can control what everybody thinks.
Everybody needs to be on an equal footing. That's what they want.
Can't stand the thought that someone might, think differently than you, that someone might not be being taught by a Marxist all the fucking time. No, so now we all have to be taught by Marxists. We all have to be equally useless.
Yes, they want to turn
Jesus
schools
fucking
into indoctrination stations, essentially.
But now
I just want to defend Useless. He's a nice guy. I will not have him disparaged like that.
Dr. Kiv suggests I fart on it. I will. I'm gonna fart. I'm gonna find this author and then I'm gonna fart on her.
I believe that's called incitement.
No, that would be if I told
biological warfare, maybe.
That would be if I told other people to fart on her.
The way that Jack sounds like he's protesting is like that guy in Braveheart that walked right in front of the army and just lifted up his kilt and just started shaking his dick all over the place.
Yeah,
this is what I have to say about your plans for schools.
I'm a meat spin this bitch.
He's got the propeller in the front.
While the pandemic has left a lasting impact on lives all across the United States and the world at large, if nothing else, it has served as a stark reminder of just how drastic the wedge between the elite class and virtually everyone else has become in recent years. At a moment when tens of millions still find themselves without work, charging the cost of existence to credit cards and unable to afford food on the table, let alone rent payments, it's been near impossible not to notice how the richest among us have seen drastic increases to their wealth due to the exact circumstances that have caused economic devastation for the masses.
You want to know what's the craziest part about all of this COVID lockdown shit? Yes, a lot of people are suffering, but guess what? Even in spite of that, America continues to be one of the best places to live on the planet, in spite of all of the terrible shit. And now this bitch is about to use this inequality that she created. And I assume that this is a woman, like, I always do. All the writers of these articles are women. She's about to use that as an excuse to put forward a socialist agenda. She's going to use the socialism that she implemented. Oh, it is a woman. She's going to use the socialism that she implemented as an excuse to implement more socialism. It never ends.
But the funny thing is, if you want all the money to not be concentrated at the top, socialism is a very, very bad way to achieve that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I lost my place because I had to check what gender the author was, Jack.
Economic devastation for the masses.
Okay. As we navigate through these unprecedented times, and the once unlikely ideas of universal basic income and Medicare for all become part of mainstream discourse, why not think bigger elsewhere, too?
Because it'll never work.
That's beside the point, Moon.
My bad.
While we imagine free public college for all and student debt cancellation, why not imagine the banning of private education altogether? It's been done before. In Finland, their Ministry of Education and Culture came to the conclusion that charging tuition for basic education is barred by the Finnish constitution.
Yeah, but
And how
Finland
big is
also
their
has,
country?
Yeah, Finland also has like what percentage of the population that the United States has?
Yeah.
And it's very possible that their basic schooling is also very good. Like their standard of education might be quite high. The standard of the teachers who go into teaching might have completely different requirements than what we have in North America. I don't know about in the States, but definitely here, teaching is kind of your throwaway. If nothing else, you can't make it anywhere else, fine, I'll go to teacher's college for a year or 2 years, come out as a teacher, and you have a job. That's how it's considered.
My question for this woman would be, okay, you want the state to be the only source of education. If Trump gets elected again, do you really want him controlling the curriculum?
Yeah, that's a good question. They will never think of that because that would never happen. That would be apocalyptic end of world times.
The only reason that these people don't think that whenever it's always when their person is president. Mm-hmm. They never consider the possibility that someone else will be president. And it blows my mind every single time. I can't wrap my head around it that these people don't understand how linear time works. The president has been known to change parties like every other election. Every election.
Never happens. Never happens. It's going to be Democrats from here on out.
Yeah, if we had justices to the Supreme Court, it's not like there will ever be a Republican president. So,
I'm starting to suspect that some of these people think that the reason that it's not going to change next time is because they're going to cheat their way in. Because that's what they're going to fortify their way in.
There you go. That's better. That's better. That's the correct newspeak.
Well, the appropriate phrase to use whenever you refer to President Biden is honk honk.
Yeah, random hit it about the same time I did. As long as they can keep cheating, they don't have to worry. No shit.
Yeah, on Twitter, I saw someone tweet about how they think that Trump cheated his way into winning in 2016 and all that stuff. So I just copied a picture of the Twitter auto reply that this is disputed information about election tampering, and replied with that. As a result, all children go to school on equal footing, with education functionally designed to be the great equalizer that it is.
Guess what? Education doesn't need to be an equalizer. Some students
aren't equal, though. That's the thing. Some kids, unfortunately, and we're not talking about those who are born with birth defects. We're talking about certain people can have difficulties. That's why there's special classes for math or for English or something like that, because they need extra help. They might have ADHD or something like that actually impedes them from learning at the same rate as other students. Standardizing that will not help everybody. It's not a bad thing to have some specialized learning for certain people and have teachers who are trained for that to teach them.
It also goes the other way as well. No, it also goes the other way around. All the smart kids who are forced to learn at the slower pace of the average kid, they don't. They're the ones they're going to lash out because they're bored, they're frustrated, and they're gonna be the disruptive because they're bored and they're not being challenged. So having like tiers of like difficulty. So like if you're not very good at maths, you go in the remedial maths. If you're excellent at maths, you go in advanced maths. And then that way you're at the right level of education for your skill.
They think that if you put everyone in the same class, they're all going to learn equally. But the fact is that students learn best in a tiered system, in a system which caters to their actual capabilities. If you put the dumb kids in the smart class, they're going to fail. And if you put the smart kids in the dumb class, they're going to fail because they're not going to give a shit. Because why would you give a shit doing something that you already know how to do?
Well,
it also has the problem. What happened with me at university, I coasted all the way through high school because I didn't have to try. I got to university and I didn't know how to study. I didn't know any of that stuff. And I failed out of university because high school didn't prepare me for it because the bar was set too low. I didn't have to put any effort in at all for high school. And then university kicked my ass because I was not prepared for it.
Shit, you got to go to college here in the United States. They're dropping standards so fucking much they'll actually allow somebody to, what was Harvard, because some guy on his entrance exam just put Black Lives Matter over and over and over again.
But that's so edgy and brave.
He should have gone with pregnant Goku.
Yes.
Honestly, though, what I'm seeing happen to our education system is really disgusting. It's really sickening. And the thing that this person is suggesting will make it infinitely worse. It will make it so much worse. I question. This is one of those things that makes me question if the entire website of Medium is just filled with mental patients, and these are the diaries of the mental patients that get just published online. That because this is that kind
social experiment.
Yeah, this is that kind of stupidity that we're witnessing. A total lack of understanding about how the human brain works, and they're trying to substitute it for like some sort of bizarre educational Lysenkoism.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they never said education would be good. They said it would be equal.
That is true. That is true.
But this also goes back to that argument of equality versus equity. And that's exactly what they want to pull everybody down so that the dumb shit's out there. Oh, look, we can get an education now. Meanwhile, like Tara had said, the smart ones are coasting.
But the thing is not even that. You get rid of private education. It's just because you have private education doesn't mean the students who are going there are smart. You have equally as many people going into a private institution that need help educationally because of developmental difficulties, or even if they are just, they're average or slightly below average of whatever, their parents just have the means for them to go into a place where you can get more one-on-one tutelage, which means what they're going forward, like with most of these articles, is they're going for the 1% or whatever, the people who they deem as the enemy because they have the money to be able to afford or go for things that the average American citizen cannot, or the current average American citizen cannot. And then they say, well, there's no way for anybody else. The poorest of the poor can't go send their kid to a private school. That means nobody should be able to have the advantage of that.
Yeah.
And this really annoys me because
scholarships exist. Like if you're a poor but brilliant kid, you can go to a good university if you qualify for a scholarship.
Yeah, and poor kids are just as good as white kids.
And Dr. Keefe said that in chat.
Look. At the end of the day, some of the smart kids are going to get overlooked. Some of them will. That's just the nature of reality. But guess what? If you have a system wherein smart kids can exist, that is better than a system wherein smart kids can't exist. And that is what this person is proposing. Get rid of the system that allows smart kids to excel for the benefit of the smart kids that can't.
No. You've got to remember, the smarter the population is, the more likely they are to realize the bullshit that the government is doing. So you want to keep them pretty dumb if you can.
No, like I said earlier, this is educational Lysenkoism. What this author thinks is that the dumb kids are gonna somehow rise to the level of everyone else if they're put in the same place as everyone else, and everybody is just gonna sort of equal out over time and over a few generations. Everyone will be this intelligent. No, that's not how this system works. That's not how any of this works. People are tiered. People have tiers in different areas. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. There is a level of sometimes some people's abilities are more finite than others, and that's all there is to it.
Yeah, and like Dark Resurrect said in chat, you can do the voucher system. That's a good way of making sure even poor people have a chance just as much.
What's that?
Where
is it like a scholarship?
Where it's like every student is given like a certain amount of money to spend on education or whatever, and they can choose their school, which means that schools now have to compete with each other. So basically the free market would make schools better.
Interesting. Very cool.
Okay. And Finland is evidently considered number 1 in terms of high school completion rate. Not scores, but completion rate.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
If Finland can manage to find the resources to invest in equalizing education for their young people, why can't the United States? Is it really a stretch to imagine a scenario where the money of America's wealthy invest in tuition fees and buying their children's way into elite institutions was put towards public education for all instead?
Why do they have to phrase every fucking argument they make as though anyone who opposes them is evil?
Because that's what they believe.
Because they are
evil. It's such a disingenuous way to approach an argument, is to go in and say, I'm right and that guy's evil. It's so incredibly...
That sounds like something an evil person would say, Jack. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Whether they're Republican or Democrat, politicians love to discuss how important education is, and how children deserve the best quality education in order to set them on the right course for a bright future. The inherent nature of private education is to ensure a certain class of people are given every opportunity that a good education can offer, keeping the very best of resources for themselves at the expense of education for the rest.
Oh, fuck off.
Whether it be the dilapidated buildings, crowded classrooms, or the fact that school funding tied to property taxes makes that education inequality inevitable. Communities all over the nation have experienced firsthand what it's like to have the basic right of education treated as a commodity. Education's not a right.
Maybe have a bit of pride or something in your community to increase property values, keep it clean. And I know that that's very flippant and there's a lot more to it than that, but there has been many social studies done, through history, sociological studies, to show that how very easy an area that's tough hit can go from a lower economic area to a full-on ghetto, with when people no longer care to invest their time and effort into keeping it clean.
I mean,
which means the schools in that area go down this route of poverty and the jail pipeline or whatever. I'm sure she'll get to that at some point. And there you go. Maybe start at home and it won't be as bad.
Yeah, a lot of the problem in education hasn't to do with money at all. I think Sora's on. It's to do with cultural issues, and there are lots of places where the culture is so shit that the kids are basically initiating in gang culture early on in life, and they're taught that
you can just say black neighborhoods, Jack. We understand.
Yeah. And they're being taught that by this sort of cultural zeitgeist within their community that being educated is in general a bad thing. It's for nerds. It's for geeks. It's for white people. And as a result, the school system's a living nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
And all the good people quit because they don't want to work there because they don't want to get murdered.
That's so selfish of them. Seriously.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, I have no problem, like, doing away with, local property taxes, determining, how much money the school has. Like, just do the voucher system and do it nationally so that no matter where you live, you have the same amount of money to spend on education. And
Well,
that...
we do what the universities do. Just give black people more points. Just you're a bit too dark to be smart, so we'll give you a leg up.
Yeah, and we'll use the Harvard strategy of just, keeping those Asians out.
Oh yeah, no, that's very important.
And we'll take in more of the darkies, and then we'll kick out all the Asians, and the darkies will fail out because they were accepted to a college that is way above their competence rate, and the Asians will drop out because they're not getting a very good education out of this.
And then they can say that education is racist.
Yeah, and then
it's not racist. It's encouraging black people, even though it's technically, it's actually setting them up to fail. On the surface, it looks like you're doing them a favor, so it's all good.
Oh, and this is just a reminder. Remember that lawsuit that Trump's administration did with the department? What was it? I forget which department it was. They filed a lawsuit against Harvard for doing the racist shit with the Asian SAT scores. Guess whose administration dropped that? Guess whose administration dropped that? Biden's administration. Geez, the one solitary example that we can find in modern society of actual systemic racism, and get, it's not even in favor of white people. It's not even racist. It's not even like this is like reverse racism shit. This is actual racism by their own definition. And Biden's administration dropped it. Why? There's no reason to drop it.
It's good racism, though.
Yeah, it's good racism. Every single part of it fits their criteria. It fits their criteria for racism, but none of them talk about it. Why not? Why don't you want to talk about this solitary fucking example, this demonstrable? This has been proven time and time again. This is well known, well established. Kids are told, don't say that you're Asian on application forms because they'll use that to hold you back.
Yeah,
this is true.
Racism is like the Force. It has a light side and a dark side. Yeah.
And the dark side is better.
Yeah.
So all I'm getting out of this is, even when there's actual racism, you won't give a shit. Why? Because it's your rich friends. And that's all. And that's all there is to it. It's the rich people are doing it. The rich people are the racists. The Democrats are the racists. They're not even, they haven't changed.
If the Asians didn't want to be excluded from universities, they shouldn't have been so smart.
This is the party of slavery. The Democrats, the party of slavery, the party of Tweed and institutionalized racism back then, the party of the KKK, and now it's the party of Harvard. Harvard, which is holding races back, which is deliberately holding races back and doing all of this shady shit, and it's just a whole bunch of rich people. And now I feel like I'm just spouting a whole bunch of nonsense. I feel like I've turned into like one of those old guys who's just ranting and nobody even knows what he's saying anymore. But just go on. I'm really pissed about this.
I think I have a way for them to keep the Asians out without making it quite so obvious. The last question of the application form is open your eyes.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That will only work with some of them, but that it's true, it'll reduce their numbers greatly.
When it comes to systemic inequality, inequity in education is arguably at the core of preserving inequality in virtually every other aspect of society. When a child is guaranteed a better education than another because of their zip code, how can we argue otherwise? A child with no alternative but to attend a severely defunded, crowded public school is not on the same footing as a child whose parents are able to afford tens of thousands in tuition to send them to a prestigious private school that is able to offer a student the very best.
Okay, so, no. But also, yes, I can understand that with the tens of thousands, there's tiers of schools as well. So, first of all, if you have parents who are serious about investing in your education, so sometimes they're able to move into a zip code, to use her example, that perhaps has a better public school with better education, better test scores, or whatever. It happens. People do that because there are some people out there who plan to have their kids, who actually, say, okay, we understand it's difficult. We are financially, both of us have to work, but we're going to work with our kids. We're going to try to make sure that they have a better upbringing, a better education, so they don't have to struggle like we do. Hundreds of parents do that every day.
And that's racist of them because
they're trying to move up, and they are definitely in the States. Isn't that the whole value of being American?
Education is white supremacy. Education is
Yeah.
white supremacy.
Yeah, trying to move up is internalizing white supremacy, so,
Exactly.
As we learned from the BBC, if you want to be black, you have to have black friends and eat Caribbean food and all that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we all know what BBC stands for. If you're
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
Oh, yeah.
if you're in Sora's line of work, you definitely know.
I just now got that. Oh my god. Would that be a capital B for the second one though?
Of course. You don't want to be racist.
Yeah. Well, shouldn't it be like BCOC at this point?
Yeah.
I was like, wait,
I agree. I think so.
I think BBC is very racist.
Yes.
Right. Private education is yet another tool for the rich to keep the resources in their hands, creating a two-tiered system that affects futures of children all across the country before they're even old enough to realize it. With America in a moment where it is forced to reimagine our current system, why not reimagine education as well? It is in the best interest of society to foster quality education for all of our children, not just the ones whose parents can afford it.
The Great Reset.
Do you hear that? Do you ever hear that guy talk about that shit? He sounds like a fucking James Bond villain. The Great Reset. We must embrace the Great Reset.
It genuinely sounds evil. Remember when Kingsman was just a movie?
Yeah.
Every day it seems more and more like the plot from Kingsman is coming true.
I haven't seen it.
Well, let me give you a basic rundown. Samuel L. Jackson's the bad guy. He creates a plot wherein everybody gets free internet except, all the cards that allow people to have free internet also make them absolutely batshit murderous crazy at the push of a button. And his objective is to try and basically wipe out the vast majority of the human population because he views humanity as a virus that needs to be eradicated.
So all I heard was free internet. So where do I sign up?
Yeah. I mean, it's gotta be better than
blah, free internet, blah 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 blah.
And meanwhile, he and his little tiny group of the highest diplomats and technological gurus and shit like that are all protected from it inside a little tiny high security cave where nobody is affected by it. So basically, all the big rich people controlling from the top down and destroying the lives of everybody else. That's the Great Reset in a nutshell. Is top down authoritarianism, no freedom allowed.
Well, freedom is dangerous. Freedom is very dangerous. You might not do what the party wants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it costs $1.05.
Mm-hmm. Remember, that's toned down to like 68 cents, though.
Yeah. All right, and with the end of the first article comes our first game, which is what I like to call Sad Libs.
This was my favorite one.
How many paragraphs did we get into that last article before we just all, well, me in specific, went on one?
It's been half an hour, and it was a 3-minute read.
well, Jack didn't get past the tagline, so. All right, and this is the game where I take 4 headlines from Medium, take out 1 word, and each of you has to fill in that word Mad Lib style, and then the chat will vote on whoever wins. All right, so Jack, I need an activity.
I'm guessing he's a little gassy today. Gassy Jack.
I'm honestly, these days I'm always fucking gassy. I have no idea why.
All right,
maybe
Moonshock,
you need some probiotics.
I already eat yogurt, for Christ's sake.
Moonshock, I need a person.
My boyfriend, Garrett Hedlund.
All right, Terry, I need an adjective.
I'm gonna give a shout out to all the cheapskates in the audience. I'm gonna go with niggardly.
Wait, is that an adjective or an adverb?
Niggardly would describe a thing. Like a person who is a cheapskate is acting niggardly. So yeah, it's an adjective.
Sweet Jesus.
And that's with an A, not R, or not E.
Dr. Keith has put the spelling in chat if you don't know how to spell it.
Oh, I know how to spell niggardly. All right, and Sora, I need an adjective.
Anal.
That's not. Yeah,
yes,
it is. That is. It is.
Yeah. Like an anal wart is a wart that is being described by the word anal.
Or if somebody's
if
very
someone
anal
is
about
being
something.
anal about something, yeah.
All right. Let's see. So start with Jax. Black people were meant for farting. It's the sequel to These Boots Were Meant for Walking.
Yeah. No, I'm just reminded. It's like the stereotype, the movie where Eddie Murphy keeps farting a lot.
Is that Nutty Professor or something like that?
I think it is.
Yeah.
All right, and Moonshocks. Lesbocalypse now? Garrett Hedlund and other trans men take nothing away from cis lesbians.
I see no inaccuracy in this headline.
I want to read that article. The original one. What the hell?
The lesbocalypse.
I think lesbocalypse in itself is the funniest part.
Well, the original headline had Elliot Page in place of Garrett Hedlund.
I still love that word, lesbocalypse.
I'll put a link to the article in chat.
All right, and Terry's. Can niggardly girls please stop touching me?
Oh God.
Oh.
That's horrible.
We'll stop wearing suits made of money.
All right, and Sora's. I'm a woman, I'm black, and I'm anal. What do I do now?
Again, I see no inaccuracy in this headline.
Is the original word trans? Of the original article. So I'm trying to see why would it be so horrible?
All right. And I'll start the poll now. The instructions on how to vote are up on the screen.
I think Moonshock's got this easy.
Black people were meant for farting.
Can niggardly girls please stop touching me?
I think Sora might get some votes just for having the word anal in her title.
Well, apparently she's black. She's a woman. And she's anal. What do I do now? Well, Terry got a vote. I haven't got 3 so far.
Moon's in the lead.
The other ones are all so good. God, they're good.
Oh, Terry got an. Oh no, that's the same one.
I was hoping you'd answer with Garrett Hedlund.
Yeah.
Of course I did.
I mean, that was the clear setup.
No, I never set you guys up.
Sora got a vote.
Yay! Thank you for the pity vote.
Apparently, black people weren't made for farting.
Nope.
And apparently, I'm Jewish in the article because I don't want niggardly girls to touch me.
What's wrong with Garrett Hedlund?
Nothing.
Garrett Hedlund
you got to see this terrible movie that he made. He was in Tron Legacy.
He was in this a few years back. He was in a superhero movie called Tron Legacy.
It was not a superhero movie.
It's a super duper hero movie.
He's Moonshock's. He's in Moonshock's man crush.
Yeah.
Why do you think it says on the side? It says Moon and Garrett forever.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the Garrett. I was wondering what that was.
All right, and the winner.
Happy together.
And the winner with 3 votes is Moonshock.
Oh yeah. Me and Garrett Hedlund, man, all the way. You and me, man.
And he travels into a video game to meet his father, Tron.
His father is not Tron. His father is Kevin Flynn. His character's name is Sam Flynn.
This is all wrong. The father is Tron, and he is his legacy. That just stands to reason.
Yeah.
His name is Tron Jr.
No. He's a black kid named T-Ron.
That's it.
Or T-Ron.
And then his father's name is Ron Tay.
Well, his dad is not Kevin, it's Kayvon.
Oh dear.
And time for our second article. Male cop, female cop. Can we talk about that for a second? All right. Now, I'm going to skip the first part because it's just about how tragic it is that black kids are getting shot and all that.
Wait, what is this article on? The backdrop is blue.
Yeah, is this not a Medium article?
No, it's Medium.
Oh,
it's blue Medium.
Well, blue is because it's about police. It makes sense.
Is this going to talk about that goddamn taser instead of a revolver instead of a whatever the fuck gun? A gun instead of a goddamn taser incident. And that how fucking racist white people are because, oh my god, the one thing I want to do is go and kill a black person, and oh my god, I'll get a badge of honor for it. I'll get a
clip it.
It's the little blue article. If article lasts longer than 4 hours, contact your doctor.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and you want to know something? Fucking Fentanyl Floyd, he died of a fucking heart attack. He did not die of a cop on the back of his neck. I can't breathe. Bullshit. Shut your fucking mouth. You got a drug overdose.
Here's the thing. Chauvin and the other officers involved in George Floyd's killing, they didn't resign from their jobs. They were fired. Chauvin was arrested on May 29th, 4 days after Floyd died.
Why did they do it sooner?
Adam Toledo's killer still has his job, and we don't even get to know his name yet. Meanwhile, Kim Potter, the officer who shot Dante Wright during a traffic stop, presumably mistaking her firearm for a taser, resigned from her position voluntarily on April 13th, 2 days after the shooting. She was arrested on Wednesday, the day after she resigned.
Why was she arrested? It was a fucking accident, and she just happened to heat of the moment pull her the wrong gun.
So that's what would be very interesting is I'm very sure that she's probably psychologically traumatized for that, right? Because it can't have been easy to make that mistake and have that thing. But what would be interesting is why resign and not wait to see what was going to happen? Because it almost seems like, oh, they made the job easy because as she resigned, she's now being dealt with as Like, how is she going to be dealt with in court if she goes into court? Will it be as a civilian now, like, or I don't know. It just seems very weird. She could have waited until all of this started and then resigned.
I don't know. I mean, the thing is that
tiny girl
resigning over getting fired is usually done as a measure of decorum. If a politician, it used to be that a politician would resign in light of a massive scandal, although that never happens anymore. I think this is kind of in a similar vein.
She was told to step down. If she steps down, there'll be less of a scandal.
No, I don't even think it's that. I think it's generally considered a way of saving face. Like, if you're fired, that looks very different when you go for your next job than if you step down voluntarily.
Yeah. That's true, yeah.
Although then again, who the hell is going to hire her ever?
No, that's true. But the general reason that is done, the stepping, like, asked to resign rather than explicitly fired, is so that they can save face going forward in their life.
Or assuming it was an accident, she might just like feel bad about it, so she resigned.
Yeah.
So, why the rush to arrest the female cop, needing only 3 days, including the day she resigned, but prosecutors need 4 days to gather more evidence to arrest the male cops that killed George Floyd?
No, they did not kill him.
Obvious on what happened. I mean,
he was not killed by Derek Chauvin. He was killed by his own fucking heart failing. Maybe if he didn't do so many goddamn fucking drugs, he would have been just fine.
Why do people take this measure of time as some sort of indication of the efficacy of the investigation? It's a difference of like 1 day. They live in totally 100% different areas of the country. And even within that, sometimes things just play out a little differently. If you're talking about a matter of days, 1 day difference is not some sort of indictment on the system. It's ridiculous.
Come on, when has the government ever been known to move slowly on something?
It's ludicrous because I remember there was this one time when I was at university, they were having like a Black Lives Matter rally because some kid was wearing a poncho and sombrero during Cinco de Mayo, because apparently that's a massive offense right now. And the administration was getting flack because they waited a whole 19 hours to respond, or a few days to respond, or something like that. Who gives a fuck? They responded. These people need to get over themselves. Nothing is good enough. Nothing will ever be good enough, and this author's complaint is merely another indicator of that fact.
Cops who, by the way, if they hadn't been fired by their departments, most likely would have done their darndest to keep their jobs as police officers. And 2 weeks after Adam Toledo was shot, his killer is unnamed and still employed by CPD while the shooting is under investigation. What's the difference? Well, it seems pretty obvious. Kim Potter is white, but she's also a woman.
Dun dun dun!
Can't have none of that.
The ovaries make her do it.
Where men, especially white men, receive the benefits of the old boys club, women don't get that kind of support. Women in our country are socialized from a very young age to be blamed for things that aren't their fault, and to also assume fault and take blame, usually whether it's their fault or not. It's called being responsible, whereas men are not expected to do that at all. For men, that would be weakness.
Hey, here's an idea. Don't have female cops then.
I would just like to point out that this author thinks that both the female and male cops are murderers. So in her mind, and I assume this is a woman, in her mind, she is saying that the difference between the treatment of murders is merely another example of systemic sexism within the system. She's using the treatment of what she believes to be legitimate murderers as an indicator for that.
And I gotta say, I knew from the start that this was going to be treated differently because it's a woman this time. And I was right.
Yeah, I honestly, I suspect that the fact that this was a woman who was dealing with it may actually have something legitimate to do with what happened, because of her weaker stature, the situation escalated much quicker than it would have if it was a man in her position. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go out and say it like that. And you know, I know that is one of the spicier takes to give these days, but
No, I said earlier, no female cops, and at least none on like the front lines, like dealing
or
with
make
this stuff.
sure they're always with a male partner. That
Yeah, but I wouldn't even do that. I don't think it's a safe environment because of the physical differences between men and women. Sure, they've
Yes.
got guns, but there's also the psychological differences that this article is bringing up between men and women, where women are going to be a lot less willing to shoot, or more hesitant in general. It could lead to people getting killed.
Yeah, I mean, like if a woman cop is going up against a guy who's got like 100 pounds on her, you know, she's not going to be able to tackle him. So what's she gonna do? She's got to go for a taser or a gun.
yeah. She has to escalate the force, and people are like, "Oh, de-escalate, de-escalate." You want to de-escalate? Hire people who are actually physically capable of doing the job.
Exactly, and I just don't think 99% of women are up for it.
Yeah. The vast majority of women are not capable of doing the tasks presented by being a modern police officer.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
and you can go all day. Oh, a woman can do all these different things that a cop can do. Yeah, but that 1% of the time that you are most supposed to be a cop, they are not capable of doing it. And I'm sorry, but it's true.
And BG saying the female cop clearly fucked up. That's true. If you have been on the force for 26 years and you don't know which one is your gun and which one is your taser, that's
I didn't know
fuck up.
she was that. I thought she was a rookie.
No.
And
she reached for her taser and pulled out her gun instead. And I heard, it's my understanding that they're actually on opposite sides of the body. So she went the wrong way. It was sort of like the old.
She panicked.
The gun is on your dominant hand. So if you're right-handed, the gun is on the right, the taser is on the left.
Yeah. And so what we have is sort of like a situation where the old man who doesn't know how to drive a car hits on the accelerator instead of the brake and drives into the side of a restaurant. Basically that, except with a gun.
And like, you don't even have to ban female cops. Just have a test where you have to be able to, tackle a guy of a certain size and weight. And, if there are any women who are able to do it, then fine, let them be cops.
Yeah. Well, we had systems like that in place, and they took it away because it favored men.
No, I get that. No, but I think that was the right idea. Is like, technically, if you're a female and you can do the job, I honestly would prefer that it was male only. But if you are able to meet the same standards as a male cop, I can't see any legal justification for preventing them from doing the job.
If you want to go that route, the thing is they are still very valuable, because you need them in, and this maybe sound gendered, but you need them in certain roles like victim security or something like that. Like when you go talking to families of victims or something like that. People chaperoning when there is suspect.
I'm only talking about like cops in confrontational situations. Like I've got no problem with females in the police force. I'm just saying they shouldn't be apprehending criminals.
Yeah.
And there's an option.
I'm not saying that Potter isn't guilty of shooting a black man. I'm saying she is, and she knows that she is, and her actions demonstrate that. The actions of men like Derek Chauvin and the officers who stopped armed lieutenant Karen Nazario show that the men in these situations always have to be held responsible by someone else, and even then the punishment doesn't fit the crime and seems largely performative, designed to mollify public outcry rather than outline true consequences.
Well, maybe if you didn't make such a drastic show about every fucking shooting, it wouldn't be performative.
The men seem immune or impervious to guilt, or just plain don't feel that it's necessary. They will hang on to their jobs until someone forces them to leave, and even then their buddies and the police unions will rally around them and say what a great guy they are. It's a little unusual that Minneapolis Police Chief Madaria Arredondo testified against Chauvin, saying he should have stopped using force when Floyd stopped resisting. But is that even enough?
Shut the fuck up.
Nothing is enough. Jack is correct.
Don't say that. It'll go to his head.
Yeah.
Which one?
No, see,
Don't
the
say
thing
Jack
is,
is correct.
I'm gonna clip that and play it back every time I need personal fulfillment of some sort.
and Chauvin did exactly what the Minnesota Police Department rule book said he should have done. I don't buy this bullshit. If he was on there too long, no. Go fuck yourself. And the fact that the police chief testified against him, that alone speaks volumes as to where they're trying to be politically correct and side with the right people so that they don't look like a bunch of douchebags.
And that is going to be bad for morale and bad for
Yes.
everything in that police.
I wouldn't want to work there if the police chief turned on their own cops.
Has anyone seen Matt Christensen's video on police resigning from, I think it's Portland?
No.
Because they actually have documentation of police who left the force and gave their reasons why.
I saw that video, yeah.
Holy shit. It is the ultimate justification of everything we've been saying all this time. If you keep treating these police officers like shit and not letting them do their job, the good ones are going to leave and they're going to get replaced with bad ones. And that's exactly what happened. And that's basically what they said, is that the city is going to hell and the management, the mayor's office is letting it.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Sure, the Brooklyn Center Police vouched for Potter's 26-year history of service with the department, but they accepted her resignation, didn't they? And they turned right around and arrested her. I guess only men get to plead the fifth. Women have to be the ones to martyr themselves. She didn't reference Wright's death in her resignation letter, but she didn't have to. We all know of her oh shit moment on body camera footage, and we'll see what gets said or not said at trial. So maybe it looks like progress to have a cop demonstrate remorse for killing a man who did not deserve to die because he had air fresheners in his window that day.
What?
I don't know, maybe that's why he was pulled over. I say it's not progress. The fact that Kim Potter was arrested a day earlier than Derek Chauvin, well, 1 day earlier, says nothing about our system becoming more just. It only shows that it is slightly more just when it comes to holding women accountable for their actions, while men are only grudgingly held to that standard for the exact same crimes.
I cannot fucking believe the segue this person just made. That is such a
You've
big amount
been
of bullshit.
doing this long enough, Moonshock. You should be able to believe it by now.
Oh, it's new at this moment in time, nothing ceases to surprise me anymore. It just, holy fucking shit. Come on. You cannot turn this into a fucking he said, she said, or a man versus woman argument.
The situations are not even close to equitable.
No.
They both had different circumstances. They happened in different parts of the country with different people. The two people,
different local police, probably internal investigation laws, probably all sorts of different, more clear, concise who's in the wrong, who's not in the wrong, how a death happened. You're right again. There's just so many different variables in this case. You cannot equate them. What the hell? But it doesn't matter because the gender is all that is important in this case.
It's because these people have a fundamental misunderstanding of how statistics work. Number one data point does not a narrative create. And number two, a disparity does not imply causation. Correlation does not imply causation. Just because one happened earlier, that doesn't mean instant sexism. It doesn't work that way. And this person is clearly just they took something, they took a statistic that's not even really a disparity as much as it is just a slight difference in procedural outcomes, and is trying to create an absolutely bogus narrative from it. It's like the worst of the Bernie Sanders crowd. You know, they hear that the millionaires and billionaires, and they run with that one statistic they hear all the time, and they create these vast networks of elaborate narratives. And
then small correction: Bernie Sanders is a millionaire, so now it's only the billionaires.
Oh yeah, billionaires. Don't look at the millionaires. It's ludicrous. It's absolutely ludicrous.
Oh, and I love how dramatic this next sentence sounds. And men are allowed, nay, expected to maintain their own innocence through the process. Nay.
I say nay.
And there's no possible reasoning that between her what's it called? Her union, her lawyer, whatever the procedure is, they not at all at one point did they say, you know what, you're going to be hooped for this, why don't you resign, let's get some better press for you, let's drum up a good case so when we go to court, when everything is, you know, you look slightly more favorable, let's do or whatever they say, because that's what they do, right? You have to put on a show when you get to court because yeah, she's the one who shot and killed him, let's reduce sentencing, you know. No, that's not the case. So the case is that and very possible the fact that she was psychologically scarred and does not want to be a cop anymore because she didn't want to kill someone. No, the real truth is that she was made to resign because she's a female.
No, I'm just imagining, like, this person's just imagining a big office building. This is the place where we handle all of the cops who shoot someone. And then they go up to this. Let me see this person's information. Well, they're a man. We'll wait a few days and then get back to them. A woman, though, get her now. Put her in the prison. We can't have women killers running about willy-nilly.
And women are dangerous.
Killing is a man's job.
And if there's one thing we know about the justice system, it's that it's much harder on women than it is on men.
Absolutely.
Let's see. But that same system will work with lightning speed to bring a woman to justice without hesitation. We still haven't solved our systemic racism, and our sexism is showing too.
Fuck off.
At least she's sticking the author's putting themselves into this. They're a part of it. That's new. That's good.
Well, I would just say, oh, hey, look, your bias is showing.
Look, here at the corner, we are not sexist. We've had a woman on twice in a row now.
Yeah.
That's all the proof that we need. They're above board.
Yes. She's a very professional woman, too.
Yeah, but they might pull an Obama where it doesn't count.
Of course. Right.
Yeah.
So Sora is, in terms of intersectionality, not actually a woman.
She's too white. She's too white.
Yeah.
She is too white to be a woman. That is true.
But I'm an immigrant. Does that not count for anything?
That means
no,
you'll
because
never
you're a legal immigrant. No. You're a legal immigrant.
That makes you even worse than a white male.
It depends where you're an immigrant from.
Well, Romania.
Well, Eastern Europe, yeah.
Oh,
she used to be a goddamn communist.
A white immigrant doesn't count. Sorry.
You're you're a legal immigrant that doesn't agree with the established narrative. You're from their perspective on the political hierarchy. You're essentially a white male that comes from Hitlerville.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
You're a white man with nicer tits.
Ooh.
Okay.
do you ever call yourself Romanadian?
Romanian.
No.
Romanian.
Never. But maybe I should start.
Or is it or to be Kenomian? I'm Kenomian. Like what?
All right. And now it's time for our second game, which I call Poe or No.
I suck at this.
And this is the one where I take
Speaking of
3.
sucking, welcome, Sora.
Aw.
What's that BBC, right?
And this is the one where I take.
Excuse me.
This is the one where I take 3 headlines from Medium, or 2 headlines from Medium, and one that I made up, and you have to figure out which one I made up.
Okay.
All right. Headline A: Electoral reparations. Should a person of color's vote count as more than one?
Mhm.
Headline B: Should we destroy the classics to save them from whiteness? And headline C: A call for white police officers to surrender their guns.
See.
All right, and
Okay,
I'll
so
start.
it's not C. Once Moonshock has said it's C, it's not that.
And I'll
A and B.
and I'll start the poll so that the chat can vote on it too.
The thing about B is that it doesn't make sense.
So
Because
that's why
from
it's a
these
real article.
These people's perspectives state that the classics are white. So how would destroying the white things save them from whiteness? I don't.
No. What they're saying is because they are inherently white, you need to destroy them so that they are no longer white because they're no longer anything.
It's like how Anne Boleyn is can now be a strong black woman.
Yeah.
So can the characters in classics be rewritten?
Gotcha. Well,
I still say we need a bowling alley called Anne Boleyn.
I'm gonna go with C on this one because B doesn't quite gel enough for me as making sense. So it sounds so nonsensical that I think that Frosted would have come up with something that sounded more sensical.
It's the whiteness that makes me hesitate.
All right,
Whereas
so Jack
the
and Moon went
C-
with C.
Yep.
Just out of hope that it's not a real one, I'm gonna go with B.
Okay, Sora goes
Yeah,
with B.
I agree with Sora. I'll go with B.
All right, B. Let's see. The chat went with B, and the answer is
A.
A is fake.
Are you sure? I thought I've heard of this one.
Me too. I felt like someone said that they should count more than one.
They should have more than black people should have more than one vote. I'm certain that I've heard of that.
I've heard it too, but that is not the actual article. So, like, I'm sure there's been plenty of people who have argued for that, black people counting as multiple votes. That is not a real Medium article, though. There is no Medium article with that name.
Gotcha.
So we got tricked by a variant.
No, I always start from scratch when I'm making up my headlines.
No, I'm just saying that there have been people who have argued for that I've seen.
Yeah, because I've definitely heard that argument before.
Demented minds think alike.
Clearly.
All right, and now on to our third article. When woke straight people act like gay is a dirty word.
Because it is. Oh my god.
Wait. What?
Don't
Can
call
you
them
repeat that?
gays. Faggot is the preferable term these
Oh my
days.
god, that shirt says gay.
Oh,
as fuck.
gay AF. Gay
Also-
AF.
Also, this
Gay
looks like
AF, gay ass faggot.
It's fine.
this looks like a bad Photoshop job. It looks like
Yes,
it looks like it's just
terrible.
it looks like it's a photo of a blank T-shirt, and they just put this graphic on it in post.
It looks
in
like
the
it's
Teespring.
yeah. I was gonna say it looks like a Teespring shot.
Well, but that poor guy is missing the half of his head, though. What happened to it?
You only need the bottom half to be gay.
I got to write that down. You only need the bottom half to be gay.
That's his next headline. You don't need the bottom half to be gay. Watch that actually be a real headline somewhere too.
I don't know. I've seen some pretty gay shit coming from the top half as well.
Oh, this was written by a black man named Jeremy Helliger.
He's not a man. He is not a man.
Stop asking if it's necessary for us to call ourselves what we are.
What?
A black gay man? What do you want to bet that he blames white people for homophobia?
I'm going to make it easier because he's got two identifying characteristics, both worthy of slurs. Let's just call him a nigget and just leave it at that.
Jesus Christ!
N-I-G-G-O-T nigget.
A nigo.
Nigo.
It's
Nigo
French.
Nigo in French.
No,
Yeah,
as the French would say, nijo.
Also classy. Very nice.
I knew she meant well, but something about the copy editor's question bothered me. She had doubts about a word I'd used in a story I'd written for the magazine she worked for to describe a Grammy-nominated music producer, a rising star who was not yet a household name, or even a familiar one. I called him gay.
You want to know something? I always, whenever I think something is stupid, I always say gay. And someone's like, don't say that. I'm like, why? It's fucking gay. And she's like, don't say that. Gay. That's like, and I've said that I've said that my whole life. You know, back in the 80s, when you said something that was gay, it usually meant something is stupid. Not, oh my God, you're offending me because you said it's gay. No. If I think something is stupid, I'm like, that's stupid. That's gay. That's dumb. That's really dumb. And no, you can't say that anymore. Like,
She's just come up with a combination of the two ways to combine it, and she's come up with faggot. And I like that. I think that is brilliant.
It sounds like the name of like some sort of fast food chain, like a burger joint.
or a children's amusement, like Chuck E. Cheese type place.
Welcome to Fagger Nigga. Can I take your order?
No. Welcome to Faggot Nigget. Would you like some black sausage?
Oh.
Yes.
Is it spicy?
Always.
Do you really think it's necessary to identify him as gay? The well-meaning copy editor asked. Does it matter? I mean, would we identify a straight person as straight?
Yes.
Does it?
Yes.
Have you ever heard of the term super straight now?
Does it matter? I thought about her question for a few minutes, wondering if she had a point. Does normalizing gay mean we should stop mentioning it and treat it as if it's irrelevant?
Yes. Absolutely.
I decided she was wrong after thinking about it some more. She was wrong in a way so many liberal straight people are when they talk about gay people. Being gay matters, and in a world in which gay people like myself have had to have had to fight so hard for the right to publicly and proudly call ourselves gay, and to do it safely without fear of punishment or death, it will always be relevant.
You want to know what I think about this article? It's fucking gay.
Yeah, this article's really fucking gay and stupid, and I mean gay in the stupid derogatory sense.
Yes. This article is completely fucking gay. This is like Liberace gay as far as how stupid it is.
It's fucking obnoxious that these people think that where they stick their dick is somehow a matter of public discourse.
Just as a point of personal privilege, I want to claim Faggot Nigget as the Jackbox name on Quippers.
Is it the right number of letters?
Yes.
Holy shit.
It's exactly 12.
Kiev has the copyright on that, so you have to pay her royalties.
Well,
Not a problem.
Maybe I'll go with Nagget.
There you go.
I made my case with the copy editor, and gay remained a part of the story, but I kept thinking about the implications of the word she'd used to make her case. It's a colossal mistake to try to cast being gay and being straight as equivalent. And that extends to how we describe gay people versus how we describe straight people.
Gay.
So
I'm
many
sorry,
of
I'm just gonna keep fucking saying it. It's fucking stupid.
So many of us in the gay community spend years
They're
struggling with our
gay.
sexual orientation, cowering in the
Gay.
closet, afraid of the harsh cruelty awaiting us on the other side of the door.
Oh my
Once
God.
once we do emerge from the closet, some of us have to deal with family members who claim to accept us but still treat something that's such a huge part of who we are like a dirty little secret, lest it make other straight people uncomfortable.
Look, I'm going to just be honest. Men, I don't care about your sexuality. Women, I only care about your sexuality if I want to become part of it.
That's
Well,
fair.
this is also something that that Son and I have talked about too. We're both of the opinion of we don't care what your orientation is. We really don't fucking care. If you want to go and boink some other dude or have some woman do some scissoring, we don't fucking care. Just don't make it a goddamn federal case and act like it's the biggest fucking thing that needs to have attention at all time. Hey, I'm gay, everybody. I need attention now.
As long as everyone is adult, human, and consenting, do whatever you want.
Exactly.
So, sorry, Jenk, that does mean no horses. But
No goats.
any adult human that consents, have at it.
Yeah, we shouldn't have to make any kind of special concessions for you just because you are not of the I don't know, normal people.
Well, see, the thing is right now in North America, right? We're focused here. You can marry, divorce, have property, all the things that you would, regardless of what your orientation is, which means to me that you're based in a lot of places, maybe not everywhere, but in some places you can adopt children like a hetero couple can. Fantastic. That means that you are now at the same miserable level as everybody else. So why should it matter? However, I do understand the point of view because there's still a lot of places where family can still kick out minors and all sorts of things happen in individual families. And there should be support for that and everything. But I don't know. It's hard to see it as unless you're specifically talking about the person who wants to speak about their experiences coming out and being openly gay in an industry, a music industry or whatever, then it shouldn't matter as a descriptor for them. What should matter is what they bring to the table, right?
Is it a racist table?
Yeah.
It's probably a racist table.
That's right. It's a colonial table, so yeah.
There you go.
Even the house is a colonial. When you're straight, it is what it is. The world doesn't look at you any differently. There's no need to come out or ever to publicly identify as straight, because unless there's evidence to the contrary, it's an assumption the world generally makes about you.
Again, nobody cares what the fuck you like to do behind closed doors. We don't need to know. We don't care. That's why everybody's always assuming, oh yeah, that person's just a person. We're not going, oh, that guy's gay, so my God, we got to treat that guy differently. No, we do not care.
But see, this is where the logic is false. If you're straight, the world doesn't treat you as differently. Yeah, it does, depending on the race, age, background, whatever of your partner. Yeah, that brings a lot of judgment and a lot of scrutiny to you.
Right.
And I'm sorry, that doesn't get hidden away just because you're straight.
Well, apparently it does, according to this person. And this person is absolutely correct because they're published, so whatever we say, it doesn't mean a thing.
If it wasn't true, it wouldn't be on the internet.
Exactly. See?
Did Abraham Lincoln say that?
Yes.
He did. How did you know?
History is kind of my thing.
They had an internet background.
Also, Abe Lincoln, raging homo.
Abe Lincoln. Did you say Abe Lincoln?
No, I didn't say Abe Lincoln. I said, hey, Lincoln. Hold the reins, man.
He was running pretty fast, but I caught his ass.
For us, Gay represents all the doubts we are forced to live with, the nagging feeling of being different, of being othered. It represents the courage it takes to finally be honest with ourselves and with others by living our truth. It represents gay pride. We get to wear it as a badge of honor that I wouldn't expect straight people to understand. Every time I describe myself as gay, I see it as something I've had to work hard for. I bet you have. Like my black pride.
Power bottom. Sora, shame on you.
Hey, he's a black power bottom.
Apparently so. God damn.
A power bottom of color.
That's what they call him, the jackhammer.
Yeah, but white power bottom is racist, though. Straight pride isn't a thing because it's not something that any straight person has ever has to achieve.
Oh my god, I just got the white power bottom joke.
It took him a minute.
Moonshock's a bit slow.
I am so fucking slow on these things. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Fucking white power bottom. That's good.
When we talk about normalizing queerness, we're mostly talking about making straight people comfortable with it. Gay people live with being gay 24/7. There's nothing to normalize.
And guess what? Straight people live being straight 24/7 too. It's amazing, isn't it?
If we think it's abnormal, that's because a heterosexual world has beat it into our heads.
I'll beat something else into your head.
No.
Oh
it is abnormal to be gay. Being abnormal isn't necessarily a bad thing. It just means it is not normal. It's not the majority position.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm abnormal in many ways. I don't think I need to tell you. And not all of them are bad. I think it's abnormal to be colorblind.
Mm-hmm.
No. This article is really pissing me off.
The importance of being gay.
Wow, really?
So wait, does that mean Ernest was gay?
Apparently so.
Yes.
I mean, Rupert Everett was one of the actors, so yes.
No, I meant Jim Varney, that Ernest.
Yeah.
It would
She's
be,
like, huh?
It would be one thing to write a headline that reads, "Gay producer scores Grammy nomination." That would be irresponsible, even journalistically. His sexual orientation is not the story and has no place in the headline. And if we're talking and writing about someone whose sexual orientation has been as endlessly discussed and dissected as, say, Lil Nas X's, there's no need to keep it on repeat. It is, however, worth mentioning in the body of a story, introducing a relatively unknown talent to readers who probably have never heard his name. In a world where little gay boys grow up with so few, if any, gay role models, it's important for them to see talented gay people winning without having to hide who they are.
I think it's a little bit funny that the devil worshipper is held up by these people as a legitimate role model. Am I the only one sees that? I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't give a shit, but it's really shitty optics, don't you think?
What's this in reference to?
Lil Nas X is the guy with the stupid Nike shoes that had the human blood on it. Do you remember that story?
He's some gay rapper, and like he made some video where he's like giving a lap dance.
He strip dance or whatever to the devil, right?
Yeah, something like that. Which
it's a music video. Who cares?
Like, I'm not offended by it.
According to the screen, "Sex with the Devil" is the name of it.
Okay, like, I'll have to listen to the song. I like One Town Horse or whatever the heck that song is.
Like, I'm not offended by it. I just think it's pathetic that he's going so far just to try to look shocking.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, it's fair. You've got WAP and you've got this. It's only fair that you have everybody gets a chance to do this kind of shit. Why not?
It's really just, it's not shocking. We live in a post-shock society. That's all there is to it. There's nothing you can really do to really shock us anymore.
And I'm sure it's too produced, like everything about it, to make it really truly shocking. I think it's probably if it was a bit more homemade style, then at that point it would really be shocking. But
Even if it's not relevant to a straight copy editor, it will be to someone who has been conditioned to think that to be gay is to be doomed. As a gay writer, I think it's important to offer them hope, as long as I'm not outing anyone. Woke straight people who tiptoe around language to be politically correct can get their validation somewhere else.
So, I thought the right words was what was important. But once again, they moved the goal posts like usual, and so now we can't even use the language that they wanted us to use before.
I don't know if you guys can hear, but my dog is snoring, and I do.
Oh, is that what it is?
No.
Oh, I thought it was just a motorcycle.
No, that's my dog snoring next to me.
I thought it was Moonshock slowly getting angry.
Well, earlier on when Moon wasn't talking, I was worried he'd fell asleep again.
No. My dog's been snoring the whole time.
Let's see.
See, the thing is, I can't snore and talk at the same time, so.
I wouldn't put it past you. You're a very good sleeper.
Hey, it's only happened once, okay?
Yeah, that's infinitely more times than it's happened to any of the rest of us.
I've fallen asleep on stream before, but I was muted.
Oh, okay. So Sora is just as bad as Moonshock, but the rest of us.
Yes, 40% of the people on the panel tonight.
My encounter with the copy editor wasn't the first time I'd come across a well-meaning straight professional colleague looking to neutralize gayness for the sake of being as PC as possible.
Neutralizing gayness? Oh my God.
What language?
That sounds like it involves prison camps.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm picturing this. I'm picturing that this flagrant ass gay as you can fucking get, dude, being forced to have sex with like just this room full of women. That's like, I'm trying to neutralize his gayness.
Oh God.
This one time at camp, I neutralized my gayness.
So one time at gay camp, he neutralized my gayness. Oh God.
Last year, I wrote and produced a video series on LGBTQ history for Thought Catalog, and had a similar conversation with my two creative collaborators. One of them second-guessed my insistence on liberally using the word gay to describe key players in the LGBTQ story, and not treating queer...
Fag and nigget is the preferred term. We've established this.
And not treating queerness as a simple matter of fact the way straight people treat being straight. No, gay should not completely define us, but it's part of our identity in a way heterosexuality, considered to be the default human setting, never becomes part of a straight person's identity. And unlike being straight, it's not just about our rules of attraction.
No. What about the people who... Hi, I would very much like to get married to someone who can provide me with children. Is that not...
Oh, you mean bigots?
In a heteronormative or something like that. What about those people, right?
Those are transphobic.
How is that not
bigots.
about part of...
Those are transphobic bigots, and you should ignore them.
Okay.
To say we shouldn't identify... What?
I think she just said "fuck off."
Oh.
To the article.
Oh, I thought you were saying that to Terry. Like,
No.
I've been called worse. If she wants to say that to me, that's fine.
No, I wouldn't.
The maple syrup
sorry.
booze is getting to her. She's an angry drunk.
Oh, you should see when you piss her off in 7 days. Oh, suck somebody's dick.
To say we shouldn't identify a gay person as gay because we wouldn't identify a straight person as straight betrays a fundamental lack of understanding of what it means to be gay.
No, it doesn't. You just want to
No.
be special, and you're just looking for an excuse to be special.
Exactly.
That's all you want out of this. You want to be special, and you think that being gay is your ticket to being special, and it puts you higher on the oppression hierarchy, which gives people more attention to you.
He is special. He had his own bus and everything.
Yeah, you just want an excuse to be special. Guess what? You're not special. Just because you're gay, just because you're trans, just because you're black and have a limp, doesn't mean you're special. You're just like the rest of the filth on the planet. Sorry to be the one to break this to you.
You heard it from Jack. Black people are filth. All right.
Clip!
He's just saying what we're all thinking.
Saying it doesn't matter is not that different from saying I don't see color. Declaring themselves to be colorblind might make white people feel better about themselves, but it doesn't make the world any less black and white.
Oh, how unfortunate.
Pretending
I'm
that
sorry, did I say
How
that?
sad that this person sees the world in such a binary method. It's very disappointing.
Yeah.
I just clarified they made a terrible, terrible spelling mistake that I corrected in chat.
Oh. Thank you. Thank you, Terry. Yes, I agree.
Kalauer.
Yeah.
Kalauer.
Which means you see black and white if you're in America, but if you go to Australia, you'll be able to see color.
Exactly.
Pretending that the lives of gay people are just like the lives of straight people and should be treated as such in writing minimizes the struggles gay people face. Love is love, but gay isn't straight. We're all human, but our lives are different, and it's okay to acknowledge it.
Not when you make a fucking crusade out of it.
That doesn't mean gay people should be forced to live by a different set of rules, or that who we are at the core should be deemed a lifestyle.
Dude, motherfucker, you are the one that is making this a big fucking deal about lifestyle. You shut your fucking mouth. God damn, he's such a fucking hypocrite, these people are.
See, okay, I would see him get upset if the copy editor, say the article was talking about how there is still violence in the Black community, in the rap community, against anyone who is homosexual, because there is. It's still, there's been people who talking about it. There's people who already write stuff about it, and that it is very important to discuss all aspects of sexuality in all sorts of cultures, and it's something that's very interesting to hear from Little Nas X's point of view about what's happened to him in the industry. Now, if at that point the copy editor is like, no, we have to dumb it down or neutralize or whatever, then yeah, I can understand you being like, hey, no, that is literal erasure of something that's important. But something like this, where it's just like, oh, well, using it as a descriptor doesn't seem like it's necessary anymore, and that's all it was. It's so hyperbolic for him to turn around and write this article. Like, nothing was said. Like, it wasn't even a big deal. Why
Spoken
turn it
with
into
true straight privilege, Sora.
I know.
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
right.
How dare you?
I'm just like cashing in all my privileged checks.
Yeah.
Today.
You better save up a few more, otherwise you'll have nothing to talk about next week when you're inevitably forced back on the show.
Third time in a row.
Please unlock the chains. I have a family.
Yeah, I
Not anymore.
I got her to sign a contract, like Satan style. She had to sign in her own blood. But just as you can't understand my struggle as a black man if you can't even see that I'm a black man, you can't acknowledge what it takes to be a successful gay musician with an extra set of hurdles to clear if you can't even call the successful musician gay. Yeah, because I'm sure there's
if it's a dark room, I can't see you.
Aww. Yeah, because I'm sure there's a lot of homophobia in the music industry.
And arts in general, right? Like, there's never been any.
It's like impossible to find a gay musician.
Like Elton John, that pinnacle of heterosexuality.
Yeah.
Oh God, yes, he's super straight.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
Or everybody on Broadway.
Don't you mean broad gay?
There you go.
Just anyone on featured in the Tony Awards. Nothing wrong with that. Just stating a fact.
There are, of course, some of us who prefer not to have to wear labels, and that's perfectly fine. But there's never anything
Why did
wrong.
you write this article?
Exactly. See, now you're speaking my language, Sora, because you know exactly where I'm coming from. Like, if this guy doesn't want labels, then why the hell is he writing this stupid article? What a moron.
But there's never anything wrong with calling us what we are. If you think it doesn't matter, to many of us it does. Gay is not a dirty word, and flagging it as irrelevant disrespects us all.
Yeah, you want to know what I think? Gay. Are we done with this article, please? For the love of God, please.
Yes.
What's that? You want him to read it again?
Yep.
Okay, Frosted, from the top.
When
Let's
woke
see.
straight
Diane
people
makes
act
the
like
comment
gay
now.
is a dirty
I knew
word.
she meant well, but something about the copy editor's question bothered me.
You know what? And she just woke up when I did that too.
Oh, puppy.
Some week you should just have your dog up on your chair with the mic on.
So
But it's rare
so you
when she
realize
snores.
What's happening? We've said that not only Sunburst is better than Moon, his dog is better than him on stream.
You guys
Oh,
are assholes. You
wow.
know that?
You know, I was
I
was
still love
thinking
you.
it, Terry, but you went ahead and said the quiet part out loud.
No,
You know what?
Ter-
Every single
no.
one of you bastards.
no,
I never
Terry.
did anything. I'm not a part of this.
Now, Terry, he's not a dog. He's not black.
Oh, that's the point.
Remember what we learned?
Mhm.
Was it
They're
last
How
week
could
or
I
the week
forget?
before?
How could I forget?
Wait. No. She's partly black. She's a Bostie.
Yep, she's
Is
a Boston.
she a black and white Boston or
Yes,
a
she
red
is.
Boston?
Black and
There we
white.
go.
Wait, if she's from Boston, then she would have voted Democrat. So she's not a dog, or she's
No,
not a
but
black person.
The important thing is it a conservative dog? Because
Yes.
conservative black people are the dogs.
Well, I can tell you one thing that she's not gay because she's already had kids or she's already had puppies. So there you go.
Oh, she was a mommy.
Hey,
Yeah.
But-
sexuality is fluid, Moonshock. Have you asked her recently?
Gay
So-
couples can have biological children too.
So, if she's had sex, does that mean she was given a Boston cream pie?
Nice.
What? That-
Frosty, you sick fuck.
Yes, I agree.
I'm sorry.
God.
I thought of that a couple minutes ago, and I was trying to come up with a way to sneak it in. Yeah.
He's trying to shoehorn in a board's Boston cream pie.
Frosty, you go
God.
to hell.
You want to know what's ironic about this whole thing is that I fucking love Boston cream pie. That's like one of my favorite desserts.
And
And
now,
you
whenever
shithead, you have just ruined it.
whenever you eat it, you're gonna think of that.
Yes, I am. I'm gonna be
It'll
like, I'm
be
never
the
gonna be able to
first
look at
thing
this
that
the same
pops
way.
into your mind.
Your work here is done, Frosty.
Yes, yeah.
Uh,
You want to know what I think about this article? It was gay as fuck. There you go.
and now it's time for the final game of the night:
Yay.
Wheel of Oppression.
Woo!
So this is my
Yay.
least favorite game because I'm
Hooray.
terrible at it. Not only am I terrible at it, I'm terrible at it in a way that isn't funny. Like, it doesn't matter if I get the answer to the first two questions wrong, but if I'm not good at improv, like, I kind of ruin the game. So it's like, that's why I don't like it.
You'll do fine. All right, so each one of you has to pick an item from the list on the left.
Hamsters.
Submarines.
Scented candles.
Buckets.
And tell
Why
me,
did it say so? Why did it sound so fucking autistic the way I said it?
I don't know, but it was excellent.
I think it's just because everybody was silent when you said it.
It's just everyone's quiet. Buckets.
Is that your favorite toy?
I like my
I have a
bucket.
turtle.
Remember, not all the blocks go in the square hole, Jack.
All right, so who volunteers to go first?
Fuck it.
I'll go first.
Give me some
Battle.
buckets. Buckets.
All right.
Buckets.
So, Jack, you have to tell us why buckets are
Oh, please say Islamophobic.
misogynist.
Misogynist.
Misogynistic. Well, the reason that buckets are misogynistic is because they can hold all types of misogynist fluids. For example, cum.
Cum is the
Spooge.
original gender fluid.
Cum is a misogynist fluid because it inherently favors men.
Unless it comes from a female dick.
And thus fills up buckets faster?
And also lube, because a bucket full of lube propels the notion that men and women must have sex. And sex, as we all know, fuels the patriarchy.
That's so
That's true.
misogynist.
That is true.
So obviously, buckets must be sexist.
Okay.
All right.
Yay.
So lube and cum is my reason.
So you could just sum it up with
don't
cum
want to
bucket.
touch any buckets in your home.
All right. So Moon's going next.
Yep. I got
Alright.
scented candles.
All right. Well, you have to tell us why scented candles are
God.
racist.
Oh my God. Scented candles are racist because clearly you never find a scented candle that has Jerry curl scent. You know, scented candles are so fucking racist that you just don't find anything that is aimed specifically at the black community. You know, you don't have one that's aimed at you have taco scented candles. You have Chinese food flavored candles or scented candles, excuse me. But you never hear of any kind of scented candle that has Jerry curl scent. You never
That's
had
right.
any kind of fried chicken kind of scented candles. You do have watermelon scented candles, so I guess that would work. But you know,
But that's also racist.
yes,
But
of course.
you know what they don't have? Father-scented candles.
Pack of cigarettes scented.
You also want to know something is that every time you always see a candle that's black, it's always related to something that not a whole lot of people like your witches, your dark community kind of candles. You just don't see black candles in a white light. Like you see the white candles. White candles are always good. Black candles bad. So clearly scented candles are racist.
That's right.
And I give
Here,
that.
here.
See?
All right. So Terry, Sora, who's going first?
I'll go.
Sora can go.
Oh,
All right.
sorry, Terry. Do you want to?
No, okay.
And Sora, what was your object?
Submarines.
All right.
Oh, gee.
Well, you have to tell us why submarines are
Anti-Semitic. Come on.
ableist.
Excellent. Okay. Well, obviously, to be able to work and live in a submarine, you're going to have able working limbs because it's a very tight space full of semen. And all those spaces need to work, all the turntables and all the things that buttons you have to push in there, all the levers and I don't know what else.
The
is in a
turntables,
submarine.
like record players.
Are they? Do you
know.
get DJs on the subs?
Is this a disco sub?
It could be a disco sub, but
Two
you definitely
turntables
can't
on a
be
submarine.
in there if you don't have all your limbs. So
Where it's at?
it's very variablest. But not only that, if you lose any of your senses, that's terrible because you're down deep in the bowels of the ocean and you have to have all your wits about you. So if you have even your lesser senses gone, which can happen, right? You might go crazy and die. I don't know.
And that's why submarines are ableist.
Yeah.
All right. And finally, Terry, what was your object?
Hamsters.
All right. Well, tell us why
God.
hamsters
Islamophobic.
Homophobic. Come
are
on.
Islamophobic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think the main reason is that they're haram. I mean, I don't think that Muslim people are allowed to eat hamsters the same way they're not allowed to eat pork. So just by their very existence, they are, denigrating and discriminating against Muslim people. So really, I think the only fair thing to do is Richard Gere all the hamsters up people's butts. It's the only fair solution.
See, I thought you were going to suggest tossing them off roofs.
I actually went with Terry's, although I'm surprised he didn't pick up on the ham element of hamster.
Oh yeah, good catch.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
All right, and now I'll do a quick poll so the chat can vote on who had the best argument.
Racist scented candle, I'm telling you.
Oh, Pebbles!
Pebble.
You won't be forgotten, Pebbles.
And,
But Pebbles was Islamophobic.
Cynic says that hamsters are too small to fuck. That's why you do the Richard Gere with them. I shouldn't have to explain these things.
They're the ones doing the fucking, not you.
You're just exploring, that's all.
This tunnel.
Where does this tunnel
never
go?
ends.
It just
very stinky.
I've grossed myself out. Oh.
just reminds me of Lemmy Winks from South Park.
Mm-hmm.
I love that episode.
I don't think I've seen it. I think I stopped watching it before that happened.
It's a great episode.
Yeah.
No one's voting.
Vote.
Just
I
vote for
Just opened up a moment ago.
I knew I shouldn't have required voter IDs.
vote for the guest and her submarines and why they're so ableist.
Well, it looks like the winner is nobody.
All right.
Nobody wins.
This is a communist victory. We all get to share it.
Damn it, you beat me to it.
And speaking of communist victories, it's time for our last article. And that is BLM founder bought several $million mansions with the people's money. Isn't that Isn't that what most rich Americans do?
Wow. Oh my god.
And her
absolutely clueless.
I have to say that I am no relation to this author, Misty Moon. That is in no relation to me whatsoever. So I just want to get that out of the way. Misty Moon.
That's
Sounds like
that's something I would have named my URL in 7th grade. I love it.
Sounds like a comic book character, or maybe a porn star.
How much in denial this person is about to argue that the lady who bought the mansion with the BLM money had the right to do so because it was her money, as in she fundraised specifically for the purpose of personal enrichment, and there was no ethical breach whatsoever in doing so. How much in denial do you have to be to argue that? Let's find out.
I have seen several articles about how one of the founders of the Black Lives Matter movement, Patrice Khan Coolers, potentially used BLM funds to purchase several $million homes for herself, and people are outraged.
Wouldn't it have been a little bit more appropriate if they used that fake ass Harriet Tubman $20 bill instead of the $100 ones right there?
Good point.
Is this outrage justified? Yes. Any leader of a movement that is supposed to give power to the people is emphatically in the wrong when they take the people's money and use it for their own benefit. But I'm confused about something. We live in a capitalist country. Every large business, every political organization, every nationwide movement in our country is motivated by profit. Politicians buy mansions for themselves with our money every day. Charities use minuscule percentages of the donations they receive for actual charity and keep the rest for their leaders every day. Corporate moguls underpay their employees and build their empires on the backs of the working class every day. Why is it so surprising that Colors did the same thing?
Huh?
So, congratulations. It's now our turn to be the oppressive
Corrupt.
dickbag. Is that what
Yeah.
she's saying?
Pretty much.
Okay.
So these people did bad things, therefore when we do bad things, it's okay.
See, Jack gets it.
Exactly.
Jesus fucking Christ, these people have no moral integrity. None. They have no sense of morality whatsoever. They have no morality, they have no principles. What the hell do they have?
Money, apparently.
Self-righteousness.
Yeah.
When a politician funnels money into his own pocket, making promises to the people and only keeping the ones he made in private to his top contributors, we call it democracy. When a multi-billion-dollar company that claims to care about our neighbors pays its CEOs hundreds of thousands every year, yet is hard-pressed to give even the managers on the floor more than $12 an hour, we call it capitalism, and it's okay.
Yeah, that's because all of it was agreed to. All of it was voluntary.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. When a leader of a movement that is supposed to be for the people funnels the money upwards and buys a mansion, we call it Marxism and demonize the political ideals of socialism. Somehow we miss
because
the
it's
fact...
not voluntary.
But also good. You should demonize socialism.
Socialism should be demonized because it's a murderous ideology and has killed millions and millions, hundreds of millions of people. Just say that over and over again. Whenever a socialist tries to talk to you, just say hundreds of millions of people over and over again.
No, Jack. You just don't understand. A few more deaths and we'll have our utopia. Just a few more.
It's so never been close.
Done properly yet.
We're so close to getting it right.
I know.
Somehow we miss the fact that the leader has done what politicians and corporations have been doing within the framework of capitalism for centuries. In the end, no matter what you call them, every one of these systems has a fatal flaw.
Hey, stupid bitch. You do realize that there is no we here. There is one filthy rich bitch with a house, and there is you, po-ass bitch writing for Medium.
It's like calling Oprah oppressed. It's exactly the same thing. Oh, she's oppressed. Yeah, she's oppressed all the way to the bank.
Yeah, she's oppressed all the way to the bank, and Oprah's wealth is not your wealth. You don't get jack shit of that money.
I will agree with Jack. There is no we here because you should have gone before the string.
But what is this collectivization? You ain't getting shit of this money. You ain't never gonna see this money. You're gonna keep being a po-ass bitch, and you're gonna keep donating to people who are gonna get rich off of you because you're an idiot and because you're a socialist. Because that's how socialism works. Is you give your money away to people who will abuse it. And you do it, except that under socialism, it's not voluntary. No, you were just stupid enough to give your money away to an idiot.
Now, everybody knows that greed and abusing power are purely capitalist inventions.
True.
They did not exist before capitalism.
And they didn't exist in communist nations either.
Yeah.
Oh, and just a little bit of trivia for you. This stupid fucking woman, she had a daughter and named her Rain.
Well, so what?
Like the Mortal Kombat character?
Yes, like the Mortal Kombat character. Rain.
I mean, Richard Pryor named his daughter Rain too. I mean, it's a stupid name, but that's the least of my concerns with her.
I don't know. I mean, for Richard Pryor to name his daughter Rain, to me would seem very useful considering what happened to him. Just saying.
And my hair's on fire. Oh, she also likes to do tarot readings too.
When she hits
Rain Pryor or
No. This Misty Moon bitch. She likes to do tarot shit. She writes articles on it all the time. So I'm looking at her dossier here.
So when this BLM bitch's daughter, when she hits back Y, does she summon lightning?
Yes.
Lightning is a Final Fantasy character.
Because that's the only excuse to name your kid Rain.
No, that only happens if you get rid of colonial science.
Yeah. Then she can call down the lightning.
Then she can call down the lightning and do the rain dances.
You can't explain that. What was that, Sora?
We're not that far off. Just a couple more years.
Yep.
She into witchy woo woo.
In the
Hey,
end,
don't knock witchy woo woo. It's fun stuff.
Oh god.
in the end, no matter what you call them, every one of these systems has a fatal flaw. All of the power is at the top, and its weight crushes those on the bottom. Think
And
about
you've spent the last like in your entire life bitching about all these problems, but now that it's a black person who's wielding them, suddenly it's okay.
Yeah.
It
Just matter of fact,
it seems a little bit hypocritical, don't you think?
I don't see
They
how.
don't know that word. They don't know that word. Doesn't
Think
exist.
about all the places you could give your money to, whether it's a political party or a charitable organization, the local Walmart or the local BLM supporters. Once the money is given, you no longer have a say over anything about it. Where does your money...
Bullshit.
No, if I give you money, I don't get to tell you what to do with it.
No. If you give money to a charity and the charity abuses that money in a way that was not, advertised, charity is not just giving your money away. It is giving it to someone who advertised a certain product to you. Charity is just like a business, except the product is the betterment of human life. If you are not bettering human life in the way as advertised, then you're defrauding the people who gave money to you. You very much have a say in what a charity does with your money.
That kind of charity. I thought you meant the stripper. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Also, like with charity, yeah, you care about where your money goes and all that, but spending money at like a Walmart, as long as you get what you pay for, then what do you care where the money goes?
Exactly. That's what I was
already,
coming at.
Yeah, exactly. You already exchange good for service or money for
product,
goods that you wanted. So when the head of Walmart buys 10 houses, who cares?
If you give your money to Walmart and you get the service that you asked for, that's it. That's the transaction over. If you give your money to a charity and the charity, fritters their money away on bullshit, then you are not getting what you exchanged your money for, and they are defrauding you.
That's why you don't give money to charity.
Yeah. Where does your money go when you donate $100 to your political party? What percentage of Benjamin actually supports the campaign? How much of it goes towards keeping the power on at headquarters? How much toward the more lowly workers' paychecks? How much landed in the pocket of a person who will use it to buy a pretentious 5 times too big house? When we give up our money to most organizations, we give up the power to determine how it is used as well. That power resides with a select few at the top, and we as consumers and as supporters blindly give up that power when we give money without demanding to know where it is going.
How much you want to bet she gave to the Bernie campaign?
Okay, but if we give money to a televangelist and they turn around and their church of whatever goes and buys $1 billion home and property for the televangelist and his family, suddenly everyone's shocked and it's outrage and everything. And isn't this not the same thing? Like, why are you shocked and outraged and this is a scam? Because they're doing it, right? Like, you can't have, it's the same freaking thing. Be shocked. This is not a good thing.
Well, it's what about
it? No, Black Lives Matter woman did it, so it's great.
Yeah. Let's see.
This woman is really fucked in the head. I've gone down an entire list of all of her articles, and holy fucking shit, she's whacked out of her skull.
These are worse articles than last week, Frosted. I just want to put out there.
Thank you.
Don't encourage him.
We blindly give up that power when we give money without demanding to know where it is going, especially in the case of political or social justice causes. How can we have a nationwide movement that is unified enough to manifest real change, yet small and local enough to make financial transparency not only possible, but expected? How do we create an organization that keeps the financial power within the hands of the people it is supposed to support and protect? How do we enforce accountability for people in leadership roles? Patrice Khan Coolers has ultimately fallen prey to the economic force that affects almost every large business and organization in our country: capitalism.
The only good Patrice is O'Neill. I'm going to say it. The only good Patrice is O'Neill.
Wow.
Wait, Patrice Khan Colors. This is the lady that bought the house, right? How has she fallen prey to anything? She has millions of dollars in a massive house.
Well, yeah.
And she's such a victim because of it.
She is the victim of that house because capitalism forced her to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Just like
I don't think Jack is very smart. I don't think he's quite grasping the ideas to play with.
I'm a very dumb person, very obviously. I'm a very low IQ individual.
You're witness.
Apparently so.
Just like our major political parties, just like so many of our charities, just like our corporations and franchises, the BLM movement is modeled after a capitalist system that allows people to give blindly and then react with indignation when their money is ultimately used to line the pockets of the person on top. Let's stop blaming socialism for the corruption of a financial structure that is inherently capitalist. Until we can give the people who are financially supporting these systems a voice in where the money goes, as well as complete financial transparency, the founders, leaders, and executives of these systems will continue to do what they have always done: exploit the people on the bottom and buy expensive houses.
And one of the exploiters of this system is
Trump.
Who? Gee, the denial, the denial is insane.
She fell victim to capitalism.
Capitalism, yeah.
She fell to the dark side.
Wouldn't it be the most beautiful bit of Schadenfreude if this lady lost all the money due to taxes on the houses she bought?
Yes,
it would be the ultimate Schadenfreude. I would bathe in that sort of Schadenfreude. It would be beautiful.
Yeah, you can buy it, but you can't afford the upkeep.
Yeah,
I would.
Well, that's actually, from what I've heard, that actually happens to how Oprah gives away cars to everyone.
Yeah.
A lot of people end up having to pay so much in tax that they have to sell the car to pay for it.
Yeah, that's because the federal government is corrupt and steals from you constantly.
The hell you say? Government corrupt? I think something's gone wrong with Jack's brain here.
That's only because it's capitalist, though.
There I go.
All this wrong thing.
There I go spouting that low IQ shit again.
All this hate speech coming from Jack, I disavow.
I'm gonna have to get sent to room 101 or something.
Jack, you goddamn racist motherfucker.
And I would probably forgive the BLM lady if she named one of her houses Black Lives Manor.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Oh, what was it? Oh, Robert Barnes was saying something. Buy large mansions for BLM.
That's good. I like that. It's yeah, that Black Lives Matter. Dr. Keeve brought that up in chat at the start of the stream. Is that something you said earlier, Frosted?
Yeah, I made the joke in chat on some stream a few days ago. So she was
cool.
So she was telling me in chat that I should use it.
Yeah.
So I hope you're proud of me, Dr. Keeve.
I would be. That was well used.
And she would know. She is a doctor.
All right. Well, that's all I have for tonight, gentlemen and lady.
Thank you, God.
Thank you.
I can find another one if you like.
No.
I vote yes to another article. I enjoy these.
Oh, I think I have to go now.
I have to go do literally anything else.
I need to wash my hair.
There's somebody on fire outside.
just put your dog in front of the mic.
I think I have a valid excuse. I can't do another article because I don't want to read one because they're awful.
I'm allergic to Medium articles. You know, I had to take a whole big shot of fucking Benadryl before the stream.
All right, so you're all a bunch of pussies.
Yes.
And we learned from the article that we should call you gay too.
Well, we know from last week that Moonshock is ugly and gay. He said so himself.
Oh, Moonshock.
Damn.
Hey,
No.
Della Hayes clipped it. It's on Twitter. There's proof.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I did say it. I
Poor
remember.
Moonshock being ugly and gay.
Well, see, not only that, but not only am I ugly and gay, but let's see, my dog's better than me, my wife is better than me, and I'm basically somewhere down in the mud.
See, now I'm starting to feel bad. Poor Moonshock.
Don't feel bad. He brought it on himself.
Yes, I did. Oh, and I'm a ginger too. Above all that, so
Yeah.
You should donate to his
ugly
Patreon and have his wife
soulless.
twist his nipple.
Jesus, sorry, like ugly.
The ginger thing. The ginger thing is the good part because the gingers are the master race.
Yes, we are. Thank you.
So you see, as someone who wanted to be Ariel from the Disney movie growing up and totally wanted red hair, I would say that is your best feature.
The same thing is wanted, as in she doesn't want to be a ginger anymore. She's like, fuck that. I figure out what they have to do. Like, no thanks.
Well, no, since then I've had red hair, so I've kind of accomplished that.
Oh, so you were a temporary ginger.
Yeah.
So
for a while there, you didn't have a soul, but then you got it back, right?
So
well,
basically,
no, I think
she's wearing.
once it leaves, it never comes back.
So basically,
That
she's
was
wearing
the harsh
ginger black.
reality.
She's wearing ginger blackface.
Yes.
She's wearing ginger face.
Ginger face.
Well,
And
I must be a closet ginger or something because I don't have a soul either.
Well, the best part about the word ginger is that it's an anagram for something else.
Yeah, fag
Oh
nigga.
no, it gets.
Hashtag fagger nigget. All right.
You know how fast you're gonna be kicked off of Twitter? You try that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's
that's
find out.
Immediately.
Yeah. I do not suggest using hashtag fagger nigget on Twitter to anyone in chat.
I do. I want someone to take the mantle, show some initiative, and make it trend.
Okay. Why don't you start?
Sure. Okay.
Well, he's already been banned by somebody from Mighty Python, so yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Look, if I have to spend a week in Twitter jail because I made a joke, I'll take it.
Harry, you're gonna have to tell Sora about the person who banned you on Twitter.
Did I not tell her about Eric Idle banning me? Or blocking me rather?
You got blocked by Eric Idle? Oh, that's too bad. What did you say?
So he put a thing. I forget the exact wording, but it was essentially Trump supporters should die the same way Hitler did, or something like that. Or Trump is effectively Hitler, and no, that's what it was. Trump is basically Hitler, so he should die in the same way. It was something in that vein.
Okay. Yeah.
So I quote tweeted him, and all I said was, it's also tiresome. This is why you don't follow people that you respect on Twitter because we've got further to fall. I forget the exact wording, but that's the gist.
Yeah.
And he blocked me over it.
No.
I got
And
a
so
12.
my response was, brave Sir Robin ran away. Bravely ran away.
Oh, brave Sir Robin.
I got a 12-hour ban for mocking Bette Midler once.
She deserved it. She's a bitch.
Yeah.
He does deserve it.
She
right.
completely ruined like any respect or like of her completely the moment she mocked Melania Trump. I lost it with me.
Yeah.
Like fuck you, Bette Midler.
All right. Well, I'll just shill out my co-host and guest.
Yes.
Jack Gunsky has Quippers United on Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Let's see. Moonshock has his Twitch channel, which is linked in the description, where he plays games that aren't as good as Super Seducer. Terry is on this. He's on Quippers United. He's on Della hazed Minions of the Zoo Nights. He's on Johnny Hellcat streams. He's on Sticks of Sober streams, and I believe that's it.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
All right. Anything you want to shill, Sora?
You may see me tomorrow in 2 places. For anyone who knows Universe Man, he does Twitch. We'll be doing 7 Days to Die. I believe he'll be streaming it. And if Random is joining us, Random American, he may also stream it. He has the D Live. Other than that, there is Minions tomorrow evening around this time that I usually am on Saturdays. And sometimes I'm also on the sober streams as well.
Ah.
All right. And also a friend of mine, Scrup88, started a Twitch channel where he plays Rocket League and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna put the link in the chat. He's also
playing games that are not as good as Super Seducer.
Yes. So if you, because he's trying to get to 50 followers, so any help would be appreciated, and just tell him Frosted sent you.
Well, he knows what game to play if he wants me to watch.
Huh?
He knows what game to play if he wants me to watch.
Well, I'll make sure to tell him.
Excellent.
All right. So we'll all see you next week on the same time. Still working on who the guest will be for next week, but
let's be honest, it's going to be Sora again, isn't it?
It's going to be Sora every week, but you're always going to treat her like a special guest because she is one.
She's very special.
Yes,
the short bus and everything.
All right.
It's just me on the short butts. It's all for me.
it probably won't be Sora, but she is welcome back anytime.
Thank you.
All right. So we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, everyone.
Get out.